And they literally were like, we really have to check you to make sure that you did not tear, you didn't rip your cervix or anything like that. And it's like, okay, like, what was I supposed to do? Just hold the baby in, just like suck her in? Hey y'all, it's your girl Everything Mia Sims back again with another video. I know it's been a very long time since you guys seen me. I think the last time you guys heard from me, seen me, whatever, was when I was pregnant. I still was pregnant. I'm not pregnant no more. I've been through labor, delivery, all that good stuff. But today's video is going to be my labor and delivery story with Kamaya versus my husband's labor and delivery story with Kamaya. If you're this far into the video, you might as well already hit subscribe, join the goal, gang, gang, gang. We lit over here, and that's on period, sis. If you ain't got no goals, set some, achieve some. The time is now. 2021, like I've been saying, we're coming after everything that God has ordained for us. So what are you waiting on? You needed a message or a memo? It is me. Let's get it done. So before I, everything, let's get into this beat though. Like, y'all see this? I've gotten better. I've been back and getting better. But yes, like I was saying, the last time that you guys had seen from me, heard from me, I still was pregnant. I was going through a lot during my pregnancy. It just was very hard on me to record, create content, any of that good stuff, because I suffer from hyperemesis. I was completely sick. My bones were aching. It wasn't a good time at all. So I decided to just take a break from YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff, just to focus on my health and delivering, my baby. That was it. That's all I decided to focus on. But now I'm back. And I'm trying to get back on the map, y'all, because I kind of dropped off. And I'm not really on anybody's radar, but it's okay because we're coming back. I'm getting back to it. But let's get into the story. So first things first, I went to the doctor. Meanwhile, y'all, I went over 40 weeks. I can't say I went over 40 weeks a long time. I just was 40 weeks in one day. I went to the doctor when I was 40 weeks in one day. I ended up missing my doctor's appointment. Pregnancy brain is a thing. So I had to go 2 days later. So when they checked me, they said that I was 2 to 3 centimeters and stretchy. This is what they said. Like, she could stretch my cervix or whatever the case may be. After then, she was like, we'll schedule you for an induction and wanna. Meanwhile, I'm like, I was induced with Caden, and that it wasn't a fun time at all. It's different from actually, like, my natural births were very tolerable, and I was able to get through, my natural births, like where my labor started on its own fairly easily. No pain medicine, anything like that. And it was a breeze. With Caden, on the other hand, it was not, it wasn't a good time. I didn't have to get a C-section or anything like this, but I did get Demerol to help with my contractions. So I was looking at her like, I don't want to get induced. And she was like, okay, if you don't want to get induced, I can swipe your membranes again. Because I swiped them the first time, nothing happened. I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing happened because I started having, contractions or whatever, but I wasn't in active labor, if that makes sense. So she was like, I can swipe your membranes again for you, but I'm pretty sure if I do that today, you will be having a baby tomorrow, or today, later on tonight, or tomorrow. That's what she said. So my doctor's appointment was at 3:30. I got back home. My contractions started picking up around maybe 5-ish. I was like, okay, like, I think I'm having contractions, but they weren't too bad. And I'm always confused when it comes to my labors. I just don't know. I don't know what's going on because each labor is different. So you don't know until you know. I was like, okay, they're picking up. And by 7 o'clock, I was like, okay, like every time I stand, I feel, like this pain. So we're gonna have to, and it wasn't like intolerable or anything like that. So I was like, yeah, like, Bunny, we're gonna have to go to the hospital. So we ended up getting everything together. We got the kids' pajamas, bags packed, all that good stuff. And then we ended up leaving and going to the hospital. When we made it to the hospital, I was 5 to 6 centimeters when they checked me in. They did all the intake without Josh first, and then Josh came in. When they checked me again, I was 5 to 6 centimeters. They told me to go ahead and go to the bathroom, get the walking around, all that good stuff. And when they came back to check me, because I was like, I think the baby is coming. And meanwhile, they were contemplating, because I had 3 natural births with no complications. They were contemplating allowing me to go to the natural birthing center where I could do, like, the water birth and all that good stuff. But they did say that Kamaya had a lot of fluid around her. So they were like, yeah, no, we don't know too much about that. And by the time they came back with that information, I was like, yeah, the baby's about to come out. When they checked me again, I was 7 to 8 centimeters. And this was all within like a 30-minute time period. They transferred me to my room, you know, got me, you know, on the monitor. So my contractions started picking up. But every time that I stood up for, you know, gravity to take course or whatever, it was very, very painful, and it reminded me of labor with Kaden. With Kaden, I had back labor, and that is horrible. If you talk to any mother, back labor is the worst. So I had back labor with Kaden, and it felt the same exact way. Like, I literally could not take the pain, but I thank God that I did not feel my contractions coming on. With my 2 middle pregnancies with Kinley and Cairo, I felt the pain coming on and the peak of the contraction, but with Kamaya, I only felt the peak of the contractions. So I didn't feel the contractions coming on. I just felt the worst part of the contractions, which was very bad. But, you know, me and Josh labored together for, or I can't say he labored, but I labored with Josh for about an hour. And, you know, I played my gospel music, all that good stuff. And now I'm in a different space than I was with my other 3 pregnancies. So, you know, maybe that's why I didn't feel the contractions coming on, but I'm pretty sure if I felt the contractions coming on and the peak, I would have been wiped out. So I started feeling the pressure, and I started feeling like, okay, the baby is gonna come out very soon. And my labors go from like 0 to 10 very quickly. And the nurse checked me, and I still was 7 to 8 centimeters, and it had to me it felt like forever, but it literally had only been 2 hours. And I was just like, I cannot take this, because I was having back labor. I was like, I can't take this. Like, I can't do this. That's how I felt. But normally when I get to the point of me feeling like I cannot do this, the baby is coming. You know, she gave me a bedpan, and normally with me during labor, my bladder fills, and it's just me. I could go to the bathroom right before everything gets started or whatever the case may be, but some point during labor, my bladder fills back up. So 2 of my labors, I did urinate on the doctor and Josh, and it was terrible. And I literally couldn't push the baby out because my bladder was so full with the other 2. So I'm not one of those people who, you know, I don't have pain medicine, because I don't react well to pain medicine. And I figured that out when I gave birth to Kaden. So this is why I've always been like, you know, I'm going to give natural birth, no pain medicine, because it just does not react well with my body. So I told the nurse, like, I think I need something, because this is just too much at this point. And she's like, you know, what can I get you? But I was like, I don't want anything strong. Like, I can't deal with anything strong. And she's like, well, I don't think that, you know, you getting pain medicine would be the best option, because now the only pain medicine that they offer is 2 opioids. I didn't react well to Demerol. So why would I react well to 2 opioids? Y'all gonna be picking me up off the floor. After I was just like, Josh, like, what do you think I should do? Because I'm so confused. I don't want to have back issues or anything like that, but I'm in so much pain. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and get the epidural. They come in, the anesthesiologist and another guy who's, I guess, prepping me for the epidural comes in, introduces themselves, and I'm like, oh Lord, these contractions start getting like worse and worse. Like, it just was so bad. You know, I'm just like, okay, like, you know, whatever y'all gotta do, just go ahead and do it. He's all like, are you sure you want to do this? Because we do not have to do this. And I was like, hold on, like, I'm having a contraction. And the nurse was like, well, this is, you know, what she's asked to do. And he's all like, if she's having a contraction, like, we could just go. Like, we don't have to be here. Like, literally, he was just like, I don't know, it's looking like the baby's gonna come, and we ain't got to do this. But I was like, no, I've been 7 to 8 centimeters for like 2 hours now, so something's got to give. So they set me up on, have me sitting with my legs hanging over the edge of the bed on the side, and Josh is in front of me in a chair holding me. And I'm like, I looked at Josh and I was like, I can't take this. And I was like squeezing him. And after then, they stuck the needle. Like, literally, I got prepped for the epidural for me not even to get it, y'all. Like, this is so crazy. This is the crazy part of the birthing story. I told the nurse, I started yelling, and I was like, I think the baby's coming now. She was like, okay, hold on. The doctor's gonna come. So basically, when I had the last contraction, the guy who was prepping me for the epidural, he was all like, you cannot move. You know what? I'm pulling the tube out. So then after then, that's when I yelled, like, I think the baby's coming. She's like, okay, you know, wait on the doctor or whatever the case may be. So I'm sitting and I'm like, bro, like, it feels like my butt is just gonna rip. Like, that is literally how it felt. So I sat through that contraction. It was like, oh my God, like literally my face under my mask was like, like literally, that's how bad it was. And I just remember I felt the next pain I felt, like I literally in labor. It feels like somebody's taking over my body. I just do not have, I can't even tell you that I felt the urge to do, like, I don't know. My body just automatically did it. So everybody's baffled because at this point, it's literally been a minute from boom, boom, boom. Everything happened within like a minute or 2 minutes. So I stood up and I remember I reached down to catch the baby because at this point I'm like, you know, I'm still sitting on the edge of the bed because they hadn't prepped the bed for me to push the baby out or had any of the tools out or anything, because they didn't even check me before I pushed, because I literally went from 7 to 10 literally, and like she had checked me before I got the epidural, or before they were prepping me for the epidural. She checked me and I was still 7 to 8 centimeters, and that literally was 4 minutes before this even happened. So literally 4 minutes went by and I was 10 centimeters. So I stood up, squatted, reached down to grab the baby and like just pushed, and like all of the amniotic fluid went all over the floor, all over the bed, all over me, everywhere. I remember seeing Josh come across the room because they told him, you know, he had to stand up because I said that I was, you know, getting ready to have the baby or whatever. And I guess they didn't believe how quickly I was. There was even no doctor in the room at all. It was just my nurse. That's it. Like I said, I stood up and just one push, the baby came out. Like, Kamaya came right out. I don't remember after I seen Josh come across the room. I just knew like, okay, Josh got me. And the nurse is literally standing beside me. So I'm like, somebody got me, you know what I'm saying? Like, so after then I just, you know, pushed and Kamaya came right out. Josh says he caught the baby. I don't remember, guys. I don't remember. After I pushed the baby out, I was completely out of it. Like, I literally was laying there, and I think I had back labor because when Kamaya came out, the umbilical cord was wrapped around her whole upper body, like, and even some of her legs, like maybe to her knees. That may have been a reason why I had back labor. It just was a crazy time, y'all. Like, literally, this story, me telling it seems like it's so long, but y'all, it really was not. It was not long at all. Like I said, from the time that she checked me before I was getting prepped for the epidural to me pushing the baby out was like 4 minutes, literally. Like, that's it. There was no doctor in the room, nothing. And they literally were like, we really have to check you to make sure that you did not tear, you didn't rip your cervix or anything like that. And it's like, okay, like, what was I supposed to do? Just hold the baby in, just like suck her in? Like, no, it don't work like that. But that is my version of the story. Josh is gonna come through and tell his Superman version of the story because I really don't remember anything. I was out of it. But yeah.
What's up, y'all? I'm Josh, better known as Mia's husband. Yeah. It's been a minute since I've been on her channel and her page. You know, just so everybody know, I'm still here, you know.
Wait.
All right, so to dive right into the story. So,
as we try to tell the story.
So Mia was in labor, really, honest to God, for like 2 days, in my opinion. She was just really, really uncomfortable, really, really achy. And so we took her to the hospital, you know, to get it, you know, because I don't know, like, her contractions was getting closer and closer together, and my whole philosophy was I'd rather be safe than sorry, like, because you ain't about to have no baby, you know, in the middle of, because at the time we was staying in my mom's basement, and so I was like, you ain't about to have no baby on me in this basement, okay, because I don't know what to do, you don't know what to do, it's just gonna be all bad, okay. And so I took her to the hospital, and Lord, jeez, my leg falling asleep. So I took her to the hospital, and we got there, and you know, of course, they checked her and said that she was only, you was still
It's
like
your part of the
2.
story.
Well, okay, whatever. Y'all say, you know, got me looking stupid.
Oh, you talking about the first time we went to the
Yeah.
hospital? Oh, but this your story. I even forgot about that. That wasn't even in my story.
Anyway, yeah. So they said she was 1 centimeter dilated, and so we like 1 centimeter. She had contractions like that. We was like, whatever. So we went back home, and after they checked her and everything, I guess whatever they did kind of jump started the labor. And so her contractions started coming even closer and closer together than what it already was. Long story short, you know, this time it wasn't a false alarm. Like, she actually was in labor. So we went to the doctor. I dropped her off first because I didn't want her to like walk from the parking structure. So I dropped her off in the front and I went and parked the car. And when I got in, you know, the people acted like they didn't want to let me in. It was like, I was like, you know, my wife just came in there. It's like, sir, what are you here for? I'm like, I'm not here for anything. My wife is having a baby. I'm coming from like, where's your wife? She already went upstairs. I already told you that like 6 times. Don't let me go because my wife's about to have a baby. Sir, we need you to scan your head so we can check it. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to like choke slam this lady at this point. Like, she is annoying me. So I do the scan, and then they tell me I got to go to a desk. So I had to I thought after I did the scan, I was going to be able to go upstairs.
Oh yeah,
but
you
that
told
wasn't
me
the
when
case.
we came in on the main floor.
Yeah, so I got the scan. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm walking past the dude, almost tackled me. Like, hey, you gotta check yourself in. I'm like, my wife is gonna have a baby. I ain't even gonna be there. So I go through the check, finally get all that done. I go upstairs to the elevator. And so now I'm standing next to, you know, my wife. You know, we young and everything. And so a lot of people typically look at us and be like, oh, they probably like boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, you know, that's her baby's daddy, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm her husband. And so when we got up there, the lady, you know, she was I think that was the first time the lady was acting a little funky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the first time. So yeah, this time the people or the staff, like the night staff, was pretty cool, which is different because all of our other babies were born like during the day. So we never experienced like what the night crew and stuff is like, and it's like night and day. You see what I did there? They asked her, you know, a whole bunch of questions, and they were really cool. So they took her in the back, and I had to go sit in the waiting room until they got done with whatever they were doing, because I don't know what they do back there. They just had me sit out. So I had just bought Michael Todd's Crazy Faith book, and so I was like, you know what? I ain't doing nothing but sitting here. Let me go ahead and crack the book open, you know, get my spirit on, you know what I'm saying? And so this lady, she was sitting across from me, her and her husband, and she was like, oh, what's that you're reading? I'm like,
y'all, this is the first time I'm hearing this. I didn't even know all of this. All right, go ahead.
yeah, so she was like, what's that you're reading? I was like, this book by Michael Todd's Crazy Faith. Oh, what's it about? I really don't know. I just got the book, just cracked it open. Oh, okay, because I read books, and you know, one of my favorites is, I don't remember the name of the book she said, but I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm trying to be nice, but I could really care less. I just want to read my book and go back there, make sure my wife is good, because my nerves is bad. My nerves was bad, y'all. My nerves was bad.
Yeah, he said that the Kevin Hart movie made his nerves bad.
Bruh, that movie jacked me up.
Fatherhood, yeah.
Yeah, on Netflix. So, okay, side story. We was watching that movie, and I'm all into it. I'm like, yeah, they had the baby. Then the wife died after birth. I was like, So, yeah, anyway. So, you know, I'm talking to the lady about the book, and, you know, we talking about God and everything. And she was talking about how, you know, she really isn't religious per se, but more spiritual. Her family, you know,
forced it on her.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so I was just, you know, talking to her, and, you know, hopefully I ministered to her. And then the lady nurse came and was like, Mr. Sams? Yeah. You can come on back now. So I'm like, bet.
Him and these voices for these people.
You know, because I don't want to use the same voice, you know what I'm saying? Spruce it up a little bit. Razzle dazzle.
Mine was pretty plain Jane. Like, no, my story really is plain.
I finally go back there and I see my beautiful angel.
I didn't look like this then.
You know, she was okay, and, you know, that's what made me very, very happy. I was really, really concerned because I wanted to make sure, like, she was A-okay you know, wasn't nothing going wrong, and, you know, she wasn't in too much pain. And so we were back there, and, you know, the nurses, they were very gentle with her, very, the funny thing is, when she got time for the COVID test, she was like, "Hun bun, I need you." And so my stupid butt, I don't know where my mind was. I was like, "Oh, okay, baby, what's your name?" What's your
Like,
name?
boy, I need you to hold my hand.
Like, I need you to hold my hand. I'm like, "Baby, okay, hold the hand."
And he literally just was like this, like, like no, Negro, like how you held, like how you held my arms down when I got the COVID test with Cairo.
And so the nurse was like, "Yeah, she's about to get her COVID test." I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry, baby. I got you. Yeah, I got you." So I'm looking stupid, like. And so the lady was real gentle this time. Like the last time, the lady was like
Literally
up her
shoving it up
nose,
my nose.
And this one, she was all like dainty and gentle, but it still hurt like a mug. Mia was.
First of all, I'm sick of you. I'm definitely. You try getting a COVID test while you in labor.
They did all the tests, you know, made sure she was actually dilated. Because at first we were going to do an all natural birth, like a water birth, you know, and they were saying like, you know, if we could get a room, but I think she had to be. How dilated did you have to be for us to?
No, they said that I couldn't go because I had too much fluid.
Yeah, but I'm talking about before we got to that part, before they checked your fluid. They said you at least had, I think they said she had to be like 7 centimeters dilated or something. And then she can get the water birth, which we were super excited about because that was something that me and her talked about and something that she really, really wanted to do this go around.
But now it ain't happening because we ain't having no more.
Nope, that's it.
That's done.
Clank, clank. And
Continue.
Literally, some time go by and they check her fluid or whatever, and she actually had an over amount of amniotic fluid, you know, so they was like, yeah, we can't do the water birth or whatever, what have you. So, long story short, they get us a room, we go back to the room, and I'm on pins and needles because once again, I'm thinking about the Kevin Hart movie, so I'm just like overly concerned. I'm like, baby, you want me to rub your back? You want me to do this? You okay, baby? You want me to rub your feet? What you want me to lick your armpit? You know, how you want to do, you know? She's just in a lot of pain, but she's handling it like a champ. Like I'm talking about like breathing down pack. Like the nurses and the doctors were so impressed by how she handled herself and contained herself. Like, you know, shout out to all mothers. You know, what you guys do is simply amazing. Like witnessing it, with Lord Jesus, I can't even talk. Witnessing it, you know, 3 times, you know, it's been like absolutely phenomenal, and it's given me a deeper respect for her. But yeah, so during the whole pregnancy, she has her gospel music playing, and we're kind of like, you know, we're worshiping together, like, you know, she's singing and, you know, breathing, and I'm right there with her. I'm trying to hold her hand and stuff and, you know, comfort her. And I guess it had got to the point, because initially it was going to be a natural, no medicine birth, like how we did with all the kids. Kamaya was a little bit rougher because it was a back labor, you know, according to my mom, because I wouldn't know, you know, because I don't have ovaries, so
I don't got a uterus.
Yeah, I got a uterus. Oh wow, I said a uterus. Yeah, so I don't have a uterus, and so I wouldn't know. But like listening to my mom, she said like back labor out of her kids was the absolute worst. Like she wouldn't wish that on her. Lord, I cannot talk today. She would not wish that upon her worst enemy. So like she was really, really going through it, and it sucked, you know, because watching her go through it and then not be able to do anything to really make her feel better other than like my presence being there. And you know, she said that was enough, but I mean, any real man who really loves and cares about his wife, you never feel like that's enough. You know, like it was to the point to where I was like, Lord, like if I could share some of this pain with her, I mean, I might die, but if I could share some of this pain with her, like at this point, because you know, it was bad. And so she decided like, I got to get some medicine. Now, my wife doesn't handle strong medicine well. That was kind of like not an option to take the pill that they were offering her, or they was gonna put it in your IV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was kind of like.
See, he don't know because I never got it with the laborers.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we don't, and so that was not an option because she doesn't react well to it. Like I'm talking about, like she'll start trying to pull her IV out, like yeah,
literally.
It'd get crazy.
I got hospital grade Benadryl and was like acting like I was on drugs, like hard
straight
drugs,
crackhead, like a straight crackhead.
I mean, like I literally was in the hospital tweaking, y'all, for context.
So they get the anesthesiologist team in there, and they give her an epidural because that was the second option. And she asked me what did I think, and I told her, like, at the end of the day, baby, it's your body. I can't dictate anything dealing with your body. Whatever you want to do, I'm rocking with you. But I am against the epidural because I've heard stories about how if they don't do it right, it can cause problems long term, and I really don't want you to have to go through that. But whatever you decide, I'm here with you to support you. So she was like, baby, it's just too bad. And they let her know, like, the epidural is good for back labor because it'll basically numb that area. It'll just numb everything. So the guys come in and the doctors, like, okay, so before the anesthesiologist team came in, we had like 3 false alarms where we was like, okay, the baby's coming. They said they could feel Kamaya hair and everything, so they was like
her head just was there, but
yeah,
I just couldn't.
She couldn't push. And so eventually, like, the doctors and nurses, they were absolutely phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? But, they was just like, okay, well, we'll be back, just
once things pick up.
Exactly. She went from 4 to 7 within minutes. And so we was like, oh yeah, this is it. And then she just kind of stalemated at 7. Like, so they left and it was just me, the nurse, and Mia in there. And so then they called the anesthesiologist team in there. And so he basically let us know, like, yo, we don't deliver babies. So if she's about to have this baby, we can go ahead.
I really don't remember that.
We can book up out of here real quick.
Like, my man literally was like, look, we ain't got to do this.
Yeah, he was just like, are you sure? Like, and so Mia was like, basically is like, like, Ninja, if you don't get back there and put this needle in my back. And so the guy was like, all right. So I'm sitting there, I'm holding her, and she, they tell her that she got to sit up. And so she's sitting up, and she started having contractions while sitting up. And I'm like, baby, you cannot move, because if you move, they're going to mess up. And she's like, baby, I know, but my butt feel like it's gonna tear. I'm like, baby, I know, just push through. You got this. And so Mia was like, my butt. And so I'm like, is she okay? Like, and so the dude, he got the not the needle in, but the tube in. He like she can't move, like. And so right before he's about to administer the medicine, Mia was like, the baby's coming. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, like, okay, baby, I know the baby coming, we know. She's like, no, it's coming. And so I'm like, okay, she's serious. Get that out of her. So he pulled the tube out, didn't administer no medicine. The nurse was over here doing something else, and so Mia was like, I need to get up. And so the nurse was like, okay, I'm gonna call the doctor, but sir, I need you to stand back. And so I stepped back out their way so they could do that thing, and she's calling the doctor, and literally Mia was like, huh. So I wish I could stand up and show y'all how she didn't get up like a regular person, like, no, it was like this pose. She did this little squat. I was like, I don't know what happened. Like, it might have been my fatherly instincts or whatever. But when she squatted, I was like, she about to drop the baby. Like, everything went in slow motion. Like, dun, 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 dun.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, nah. And so literally, I watched the baby just come right out of her, and I caught the baby. Like, when the baby fell out of her, I caught the baby, and she was like, ugh, it just fell. It just fell. So I got amniotic fluid, then fell all over my hands, all over my shirt. I got the baby in my arm with the umbilical cord wrapped around her. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't. So then the nurse was like, okay, give me the baby, give me the baby. And so,
I don't remember none of this.
yeah, so at this point, she just out of it. So I thought she died. I'm like, oh, my baby, Lord. I'm like, not the Kevin Hart movie. And so I'm sitting there after she get the baby. I'm like, Mia, you okay? She like, Mia, are you okay? She like,
I don't remember that either.
I'm like, you gotta stay up, baby. You got, because they gotta get the other thing about you. I couldn't think it. I know it's the placenta now, but I'm like, they gotta get the other thing about you, baby. You gotta wake up. And so she like, boy, stop. Like, I'm not tired. Like, I just had that. Like, just let me have my moment. So then the doctors come in and they like, you know, oh God. And so the doctors is like, you know, like, so you delivered before? I'm like, oh yeah, I got, you know, 3 other kids, and you know what I'm saying, like that we did this. She was like, no, so you delivered all 3 of them. I was like, yeah, am I stupid but not realizing they talking about like actual delivery. I'm like, yeah. Like, but you know, once I realized what they were talking about, I was like, oh no, this the first one.
Our kids are awake.
After that, you know, they get the baby cleaned up. You know, they pull Mia's placenta out. You know, and that's basically it. Like, you know, I was super happy. You know, she was healthy. The baby was healthy. Everything was fine. You know, and it just, I felt like this big relief, you know, off my back. You know, making sure that they was good. So.
Yes, the Kevin Hart movie just
messed me up.
Had him on edge the whole end of the pregnancy until we got close, you know, super close to the end. He was very much on edge.
Yeah. So my new name is Dr. Josh. I'm out here delivering babies.
I don't second that.
I did pretty good with that one.
You did, but they not gonna get me.
I caught my baby, y'all. I caught my baby.
I'm not getting got. On behalf of the fake doctors, you're gonna be like my man who went to jail.
Oh yeah.
The dude with the blessing.
Never mind, y'all. I can't do jail. Can't do it. Won't make it down.
All right, y'all. This is the baby that gave us all of that hard time. All of this through my pregnancy, and she came out only 7 pounds and 5 ounces. Like, what is that about? But.
So yeah, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.
Join the goal, gang. We lit over here, and that's on period, sis. If you ain't got no goal, set some, achieve some. The time is now. If you needed a message or a memo, it's me. Let's get it done. 2021, we're coming after everything that we deserve. All right. All right, y'all. See y'all next week with another video.
Blessings, yeah. I see the blessings coming out.